What is intuitive eating, and does it work for weight loss? Can you actually lose weight while eating the foods you want to satiety and without counting calories? Sounds too good to be true, doesn't it? Though think about this. We humans have only been eating intuitively for, let's see, 4 million years, as long as we have existed on this planet. So you'd think we had that one in the bag, right? Eating intuitively basically means that we follow our instincts of what to eat, when to eat, and how much to eat. And it's what we've always done, of course, based on the foods we're able to source. Except that today, you have been told not to trust your own instincts. You have been told that food you don't like, food you don't feel attracted to and instinctively would not eat, those are the most nutritious and healthy foods. And foods you naturally feel attracted to and instinctively want to eat are bad for you, which makes no sense if you think about it. And you've been told that you cannot trust your own instincts when it comes to how much to eat. That in order to be lean and healthy, you have to stop eating while you're still hungry and count calories using an app rather than following your own hunger signals. On top of this, some of the foods we eat today and some of the additives we find everywhere are indeed messing up our gut, our metabolism, and hunger signals, making it that much harder to eat intuitively. The solution isn't to ignore all our instincts and force ourselves to eat very little and eat foods we don't like. The solution is basically to do the opposite. So yes, we can eat intuitively and thrive and even lose weight that way. Though first we need to unlearn some of the ridiculous things we've learned over the past few decades and relearn to actually listen and trust our own instincts. Instincts we have honed in on and developed over millions of years. If you do this, you may just find that eating a healthy diet is actually quite pleasant and enjoyable because you're actually eating foods you enjoy. And it can even help you lose weight without walking around feeling hungry, especially if you use some simple tools on top of this to help you lose weight more efficiently. We'll talk about that in a short while. So in this video, I'll show you 3 steps to get started with intuitive eating, and we'll talk about how to optimize it specifically for weight loss so that you can eat foods you enjoy to satiety and still lose weight. And if you like this topic, please do me a favor and click the thumbs up. So let's get started with step 1 right now. Step 1, choose the most natural foods. You know, I know, we all know that the more natural the diet is, the better it is for us. This is something we instinctively know. You can choose to ignore it, though instinctively you know it's true. So if we want to follow our instincts, it means that we should choose the more natural kinds of foods. What specifically does that mean? Well, let's just say in general that we should focus on unprocessed foods. In general, foods that have just one ingredient, namely the food itself. This doesn't mean they are the only foods we can eat, though they should form the base of our diet. Step 2, use common sense and learn to trust your own instincts of what to eat. Think about this. Animals in the wild eat intuitively. They instinctively know what foods to eat. They don't need to think about it, they know. A lion knows instinctively that eating grass or leaves is no good. It needs meat to live and thrive. And meat is what it wants to eat. It's what it prefers to eat, and it's what it enjoys eating. And the same goes for every other animal in nature. They just know what to eat instinctively. And they actually eat what they enjoy eating. And what they enjoy eating is what's best for them. And it makes total sense for it to work like that, doesn't it? Animals in the wild would not survive if it depended on them eating foods they don't like. By the way, before we look at what this means for us humans, I just want to say welcome back to my channel. In case you don't know me, I'm Ingunn, a Norwegian Viking. I left my career working with physics and mathematics many years ago to instead use these analytical skills to research nutrition and weight loss science. Because so much of what we're told is either wrong or misleading at best. And what I've found has completely transformed my own body, and now I'm helping others do the same. Helping people lose weight naturally and feel better than ever. So if you want a different look at nutrition and how to lose weight based on science and common sense, then make sure you're subscribed to my channel because I got lots more tips and truth coming your way. Okay, so animals in the wild eat what they enjoy eating, and as it turns out, those foods are also the type of foods they are designed to eat and thrive on, which is no coincidence. Dogs as well, for example, prefer to eat meat. They would much rather eat meat than broccoli. Most dogs wouldn't even touch the broccoli. They don't like it. They like meat. And it's no coincidence that meat is also what's healthiest for the dog. So the question then becomes, what foods are we humans naturally attracted to? Because if we use that same logic, those foods should also be the healthiest for us, right? Though note that in order for us to be able to trust our own instincts on this, we have to choose between natural, real foods. You cannot include industrial foods that have been engineered to be as tasty as possible, that contain unnatural ingredients and maybe even artificial flavors or MSG. Those kinds of foods have only been around for a tiny part of our existence on this planet and have not been part of developing our instincts around food for the past millions of years. So when we do this exercise, we have to choose between natural foods only. It just makes sense. Also, of course, considering the fact that we know instinctively that the more natural the food, the better. And when we look at the types of natural foods that humans in general value the most and enjoy the most, it's actually the most nutritious foods as well, which again makes total sense. Foods such as meat, seafood, eggs, cheese, fruit, honey. One thing you see a lot here in Portugal, where I'm currently living, in the traditional restaurants, on the menu for the main dishes, they have one section for seafood or fish and one section for meat. That's it. You come there either to eat meat or fish. Of course, there are sides as well. It can come with potatoes or rice or side salad. Though the main thing you're looking for is either meat or fish. Now, I know you've been told that being vegan is healthy, which seems odd looking at these foods. And you've been told that vegetables, especially the dark green leafy vegetables, are extremely nutritious and healthy. Kale is a superfood, and drinking green juice is amazing for your health. These are not the foods we feel the most attracted to. I mean, even the color green isn't very appetizing. It's actually the color we use to describe something disgusting. Well, to be fair, it can also make the dish look fresh. Like this dish that my in-laws had the other day in a restaurant in Brazil. The salad leaves make the dish look nice and fresh, though the salad leaves are definitely not what you feel the most like eating, if you even eat them at all in this case. There's nothing wrong if you do eat them, though a lot of people wouldn't even touch them in this case. And in fact, these foods are not even that nutritious either, because we don't actually absorb a lot of the nutrients in these foods. Our digestive tracts are not designed to extract a lot of the nutrients in these foods. And some of the phytochemicals in some of these foods can even be harmful, at least if you eat a lot of it. Even so, today we have been conditioned to associate the color green with health. We have even been conditioned to think that if something tastes awful, it's probably healthy, or in general that healthy foods are not very tasty. So if you want to eat a healthy diet, you have to be okay with eating foods you don't really like. Which again doesn't make sense at all if you look at it from an evolutionary perspective. We have been told that these foods are super healthy and that these foods should be limited, even though we feel more attracted to these foods. Well, actually these days we're even told that industrial, unnatural, even ultra-processed foods in some cases are healthier than the natural foods we have been consuming for thousands of years. Again, this makes no sense. If we simply take a step back and think about it, we would realize that it makes no sense and that it goes against our own instincts. By the way, if you haven't already, you're going to want to check out my recent video on what happens to your body when you eat vegetable oil. It's one of the most common ingredients in the foods that we eat today, and you won't believe what actually happens to your body when you eat it. So check it out. I'll put the link in the description of this video as well as at the end of this video. So our idea of what a healthy diet looks like is very much skewed due to how we have been taught not to listen to our own instincts. Actually, we have been taught to ignore our own instincts, to not even consider them. Our natural instincts tell us to base our diet on the real foods we enjoy the most, though we have been told to limit those foods. No wonder people are confused about what to eat, right? Now again, I'm not saying you shouldn't eat these foods. Some of them may be a great addition to include in your diet if you do well with them, which we'll get to next. Though it makes no sense to make this the base of our diet when it's not the type of natural foods we feel the most attracted to. Now we also need to talk about how to optimize this for weight loss so that you may naturally eat the foods you enjoy to satiety and still lose weight. First, we need to talk about step 3, which can actually help with weight loss as well. Step 3, listen to your own body's signals. Again, we have been taught not to listen to the signals that our own body is sending us. The foods you eat affect everything within your body, from your digestion to your mood, your energy levels, metabolism, hormones, health in general, the most obvious thing to look for when evaluating the foods that you're eating is to see how they make you feel immediately after eating them for the rest of the day and also the next day. If you feel bloated, for example, after eating a certain food, it's probably not the best for you, at least at that time. If you in general feel low on energy, you may want to try different foods and see how that helps. If you gain weight easily, that may also have something to do with the types of food you're eating and how they affect your metabolism. If you constantly feel hungry and have lots of cravings, the types of food you're eating may be to blame. These are all signals from your body, and they should all be taken into consideration when deciding what to eat. So this is something we're not really taught to even consider. So most people don't even pay attention to how different foods make them feel. And they don't even know how great they can feel if they simply improved their diet. Like one of my clients who said that after following my program, for the first time in his life, his bowel habits were normal, which was huge for his mental state. And he was able to lose weight while feeling great and even without any cravings. Most people don't know this is possible. We're told that in order to lose weight, we need to stop eating while we're still hungry. We're told that it's only about calories. You just need to eat less. Even though the specific foods you eat can directly affect your metabolism, hunger, digestion, energy levels, mood, and pretty much everything in between. And of course, how easily you lose weight. Now, how do we optimize all this for weight loss? Even though you may lose weight simply by doing what we just talked about, there are additional tools you may want to implement to make weight loss even more efficient. One of them is to limit foods that may irritate your gut, even if you don't know it. Here are some examples. You see, some foods can cause issues in your gut, leading to inflammation and the lining of your gut becoming more permeable so that particles from inside your gut can travel into your bloodstream which shouldn't be there and cause inflammation. And low-grade inflammation can directly affect and inhibit your metabolism and thereby also affect your hunger. And of course, all of this can make weight loss more difficult. Now, these are just some examples of the foods that you may want to limit for a while. It does not mean that you need to avoid them forever. Our bodies are designed to be able to handle a certain amount of irritants, so to speak. However, due to all the different things that we put our bodies through today with all the unnatural foods and additives that may damage our gut, simply giving our bodies time to recover with a less stressful diet, so to speak, can really help kickstart the process so that we may build a much stronger foundation that can keep strong with a more flexible diet and lifestyle in the future. Because that's the goal, isn't it? To have such a strong foundation so that you can choose when you want to enjoy more flexibility while still looking and feeling your best and being able to get back to that with little effort. If you implement this, you may find that any excess fat that you're carrying around may start to naturally melt off while you're eating foods you enjoy to satiety. Imagine that. And there are even a few more tools you may want to implement to make weight loss even easier. I have laid it all out for you with step-by-step video instructions that are simple to follow in my 90-day weight loss program called Slim by Science. So if you want a step-by-step approach to losing weight naturally and more easily without having to count calories, you're going to want to join this program. And for those that join now, they will also get personal support from me throughout. You'll find more information about the program and you can join if you simply head over to slimbyscience.com right now. You'll find the link in the description of this video. Weight loss gets a lot easier when you play on the same team as your body. When you focus on helping your body thrive, losing weight is simply a side effect. You may also want to check out some of my other videos showing you practical tips on how to lose weight more easily. I'll link to some of them below. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up. Here are 2 videos you'll want to check out next. Enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.